Hi guys, today I want to talk about what is life. What is life? And I sat there like a couple of days ago and I thought, okay, why do I experience what I experience? Why do I feel the way I feel? And why do I think the thoughts I have? And why do I feel the way I feel around people and situations? And I came to the conclusion that life, and also why sometimes do I feel so deeply connected to other people in terms of that you kind of copy their whatever their ideas or you adapt to their way of being. It's like a game, like a dynamic, like people do something, they act a certain way, and you adapt to kind of make a counter move sometimes, in group dynamics or in life. You usually that's the way it goes. I mean, usually something happens and you react, right? That's life. And so I sat there and I thought, okay, life really is like a strategy to survive embedded in you. So the thing that the little whatever circle that keeps spinning in your head, that keeps you alive and it keeps you awake all the time, that screams what you should do, like go to work, or then food, eat, or sleep. This thing that keeps you alive, it really tells you what to do. And this feeling is a strategy. It's like a pretty complex strategy that humans, or that evolution kind of made humans embed into themselves. And this strategy it's so interesting because if you watch life, you can always, everything that goes on and every dynamic, every move, counter move, whatever, you can analyze from this point of this strategy that life came up with to survive. And for example, what was it? I was thinking about women and how they are like different and look for status in males mostly, or I think that's the most indicative indicator for women to choose a mate. It's like a relative status to the other males. And I thought, okay, men and women are different. Like, men don't really look for status in women. They look for beauty and loyalty and honesty, or kindness and these kind of things, maybe, or naivety probably. And I wanted, okay, that's different, And then I've viewed myself in some situations, and I thought, okay, yeah, that's just life making its game or playing its strategy. It's like a strategy. We all are part of this game, and then together, kind of, if we play this game out, which consists of like competition, and it consists of family and friendships and a community and working together and having visions of the future and being disciplined and hardworking, and this kind of being curious, and this made us survive, and also grow as a civilization or humans and make progress. And so and that's super interesting. And I think if you view many things that you might not understand in the first place from this angle, that life is just a game and you are not special. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're not special. You're not special. You're not that special as you think of yourself. Actually, you're just not special. That's it. You're just not special. You're just one person. And this game of life, or this strategy that life plays, is so much bigger than you, that you really have to get over yourself and step back to understand that you are just part of it, and that you can either be arrogant and decide to still do your own thing because you're so fucking special, but as I said before, you're just not. And so you might also consider that life is a universal rule that evolution decided on how this game is played, based on how Earth looks like, how food grows, or the way we have food and the way we can organize communities and groups. This is kind of the circumstances that made up the rules for life, that when you play after them, you win, and if you don't, you lose. And as I said before, it's if you watch it from that angle, everything makes sense. Like the people who have the money, they are successful and they can make other people do anything they want because they have the money and everyone wants the money. And relative status, you know, and then there are trends, societal trends that the society kind of agreed on being a measure for relative status or success. So there might a trend being like being fit, or you know, in the medieval age it was a trend to be fat. So when you were very fat in the medieval age, it was actually a great thing because it showed that you were wealthy. But nowadays it's different. It might be style, you know, people who or smell, or like people who look like they care about how they look and how they come across. They are viewed as like self-aware and stylish, you know. And so there are these things going on in society, and I think way too often people get wrapped up in their own like life and how special they are and things, and sometimes it needs a big humiliation, or no, not humiliation, I mean humbling. Sometimes it needs a big humbling for some people to get over themselves and realize that they are just a little tiny player, or like a pawn in this game, in this strategy of life that's playing out and that's trying to make the human race survive, or the humans. And so if I view myself as just this little part, then I'm thinking like, okay, actually that enables me to kind of think of myself as a part of human life and of society, and I'm not that important, you know. But if I can feel this importance inside of myself because I show to myself that I'm important, then it's okay to be not that important on the big screen, you know, even though I would want to. But you have to start somewhere, you know, and you can't aim for being the next Michael Jackson just from right off the floor. I mean, you could, but I mean, yeah, you can do it. Go ahead, man. Just saying, what I'm aiming for is like I want to be good at what I'm doing. That's important. And what I'm doing right now is just, you know, I'm not a star or something. And so just play the games that you're in. Just understand the games that you're in, view them from this perspective of survival, and understand, okay, people never treat you bad because they are bad people. There is no good and bad. It's just survival. It's just mechanisms that try to make everyone want to survive and act so they survive, you know. So it's really, people can get really wrapped up in their own heads with bad thoughts and whatever, envy or jealousy or all these things, but it's really about just understanding that life of humans is just one specific type of life with specific mechanisms, and men and women and how they strive for things and these things, and if you then on top love yourself, at least as far as you can, then then you can be pretty happy, I think. And yeah, for me it took also some time to step back from society a little bit and to understand that it's just one thing that is going on. That's the point. I think it's hard for you to view life or your life or whatever you are part of as just a game. That's what people always say, right? They always say, okay, life is a game, just play the game, and if you play life as if it was a game, you will be happy and it will all be easy. Like, that's what people say. There's this narrative, but how could you play a game if it's life to you? I mean, how could you think of something as just a game that's fun to play and you can lose? Okay, then I lost. Or you win, okay, I won big time, cool. But how could you ever think of something as just a game which you can actually enjoy and where you can lose, whereas it's okay to lose, if it's everything you know, right? That's the point. If it's everything you know and if you perceive it as your world and as your existence and your everything, then it's not easy. There is no lightness for you. There is no like joy or like it's too hard. It's too heavy. It's too heavy because for you it's everything you have. It's your existence. And so how could you enjoy playing it when it's too serious? You know, when a game is too serious, it's not fun anymore. And so yeah, all these, you know, that's what I meant, all these narratives, these things like don't take life too serious and this thing. But how could you not, if it was everything you have? And that's why people say, if you want to grow, you have to die first. And that's why people say you have to fail to learn and all these things, because it's true. Because when you fail, you understand that it just keeps going, basically. You understand that it just keeps going, and that life keeps going, and that everyone goes on, and that you get another lottery ticket. You know, that's what life is, basically, like an endless, or like a, no, it does end probably, but it's just lottery tickets, you know, and you can just make your turn all the time, and yeah, and so I think that's a thing, that people get very attached, emotionally attached to their life, without understanding, without viewing it from the outside and understanding it's just one possible life that I could live. It's not the life, it's just one life that I'm living right now. And if it ends, okay, then I live a different life. Then I live a different life somewhere else with other people, maybe another job or other hobbies. Doesn't matter. You know, I will be sad to lose something that I like, of course, but I think when you've lost enough things, then at some point you get used to it, and it's part of life. It's part of life, so you better get used to it.